All right, you guys, we're back and we're live. Welcome back to our daily live feed. As you're logging on, if you would like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. We do hair, makeup, suits and posing, all the fun stuff when it comes to competing. If you are logging on Instagram, that's cool, but we also have it live over on our YouTube and Facebook. And on YouTube and Facebook, you get screen sharing, which means you get photos, you get all videos, all sorts of stuff. So the experience is better over on YouTube or on Facebook. So if you go to my link tree on Instagram, there is a drop down there and you can get over to my Facebook or YouTube channel, which is Sean's Couture Cuties, if you want to go over there and subscribe, turn on notifications. We go live 3 nights a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We do show wrap-ups and show previews, and then we also go through all things show-related, like presentation, prep, all of the fun stuff. Yes, congrats to our cuties over the weekend. Yes, we are going to go through that tonight, too. I'm going to give you guys a little show on the girls that all competed this weekend. I think I got everybody. I always feel bad when I do these because I inevitably forget somebody. I'm like, crap. But I think I got everybody. So hopefully we got everyone to show today. So yes, it's a wrap-up day. It was a crazy weekend of shows. I was paying attention to Chicago while I was in Pittsburgh for Masters Nationals. So Masters Nationals is always a long show. We always have a ton of girls there. And of course, we got some pro cards out of the weekend too, which we typically do that as well. So super excited about that. For those of you that are new to the brand here, so what I do is like I said, I do hair, makeup, suits, and posing. If you are wearing one of my suits, when you earn your IFBB Pro card, you then win a sponsorship for the remainder of your career as a competitor. So pretty simple. One suit purchase could end up getting you sponsored for life. Not a bad deal, right? So we had a couple of girls that happened to this weekend. So yes, at the Olympia too. So we also give a 4-day, 3-night trip to Olympia as well. So what's up? Yes. And as always, we give it about 3 minutes for everybody to get logged on. And again, if you're logging on Instagram, you can listen along on there, no problem. But all you're going to see is my face. If you go over to YouTube and you go to Facebook, you're going to see pictures and you're going to see videos and all of that stuff too. So before we get into Chicago, we are going to go through Masters Nationals. I'm just going to kind of give each one of the girls a shout out and let you guys know what we did as far as helping them along their way. And I want to show a video too and show you guys a little bit of something as well, which was kind of funny. So hope everybody had a great weekend. And also QR code right here, free webinar. So suitsandposing.com will take you right to this page, but you can also scan this QR code. So if you are interested in potentially winning a Pro Performer Promise sponsorship, this is how you do it right here, this little webinar right here. So join us in the webinar. I give you all the secrets that you need in order to get a winning competition suit. And we give you all the ins and outs and the details and all that. So that is every Thursday when I'm home. So next week we will probably adjust it a little bit next week because I'm going to be in Tampa for the Tampa Pro. Oh, let me go through that stuff too. So this coming weekend is Clash here in Virginia. So it's the Clash of the Titans. So we're at that show on Saturday. Next week, I will be in Tampa literally all week. It's like, so Masters Pros are on Thursday, which means I get in on a Wednesday because we have a couple of girls competing in the Masters Pro circuit. So I'm excited about that. We got some Pro Performer Promise girls that are competing that weekend, making pro debuts, all of that. Saturday is Wellness and Bikini Open, as well as the NPC. We have girls not only competing on stage, but also coming in to watch the show, participate, and pose as well. So that's something as well. If you're going to a show that I'm going to be there and you want to book a posing session with me, you can. Okay. Typically at all shows, I'll have time to do that. So feel free to reach out. And if you're going to be in Tampa, I will have plenty of time because we have a lot of time in Tampa because of the way the show is spread out. I'm going to go visit a couple of local gyms, get some interviews, all of the fun stuff, right? So after that, then we have a week off. And then we have Nashville Fit Show. So same situation there. I'm going to be going into Nashville Fit Show on Thursday, staying through till Sunday. So if you want to get posing sessions in, feel free. We are also doing hair and makeup at these shows too. So if you need to book hair and makeup, you know who to call. That's me right here. So the links are all in our description box here in this video too. So this is a big commercial today. And then after that, then we have North Americans. So we have North Americans and the Masters World Championships. So that's another long one in Pittsburgh. We'll be there till Sunday that week because of the Masters World Championships too. As you can see, I work with a lot of Masters ladies. So we typically do go to these shows where there's Masters involved. So pretty excited to see what happens with the Masters Olympia this year too. So it's pretty cool. Yes. So, all right, let's talk about Masters Nationals real quick, and then we'll go into Chicago. So let me screen share. And first thing, also I want to apologize if the feed is a little slow. It's about to storm here, and I noticed that our Wi-Fi is not the greatest. So hopefully we'll be all right getting into this. But I think this is Masters right here. Pretty sure. No, that's Chicago. Hold on. Let me pull up Masters. This is Masters right here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of give each one of our girls that we worked with through presentation or whatever it might have been at the show a little shout out. First one up is Stephanie Fields. So Stephanie we've been working with for a while now. She's come to Cuties Conquering the Stage the last couple of years. We did her suit, her makeup, and her posing for this show. So I wanted to give her a quick shout out here. Did phenomenal. This is her first national show. I believe what she's going to be doing next is she's going to be doing North Americans. Also, shout out to her coach, Catherine, who we've worked with Catherine for a long time too. And I think she's making a comeback too in figure as well. So I'm excited to see how that goes too. So congratulations to Stephanie on getting on stage at her first national show here. Next up, we have Bernice. So Bernice is one of the ladies that did win her pro card in our suit. So we've worked with Bernice on her suit, her posing and presentation, and all of that going into this show. She also did Universe 3 weeks ago, and she placed second there. She came into Masters Nationals here, placed first in the 60 and over category, won the overall in 60 and over. So yeah, ladies, there's no age limit here. She looks phenomenal. So she did win the Pro Performer Promise giveaway sponsorship by winning her pro card at this show this weekend. So congratulations to Bernice as well. Next up, we have Shauna. Let me get a good posed picture of Shauna here. So we've been working with Shauna for a long time. She has also switched over from figure to bikini, and she did wellness as well. We did her suit, we did her posing, we did her makeup at the show. Did phenomenal, first call outs, all of that. So placed fourth in wellness, sixth in bikini. This is her in bikini right here. So yeah, great job for Shauna as well. And I've got a little video I want to show you of her too, but we're going to do that after we go through all the shout outs. We have Megan. So Megan, we've worked with for the last couple of years here too on her posing, and we did her makeup here at this show as well. Again, another first call out. Every one of our girls, Bikini Wellness got first call outs this year. So that was pretty freaking awesome. I think she placed seventh, but yeah, first call it again. And then we had Jamie. So Jamie, I've featured it on our Instagram already. Jamie, we've worked with since before her first show. She's come to Cuties Conquering the Stage a couple times now. Is a phenomenal athlete, just amazing all around energy. If you ever met Jamie, you love her. We worked with her. We've worked with her from the beginning on her posing presentation, and then we did her makeup here at this show, and we also did her suit at this show. And she placed top 5 in 15 over, plus I think she was 6th in 45, I believe. Again, first national level show, so she looked phenomenal, did an amazing job. So I want to give her a shout out too. Let's go to our next one. Pandora, another one that we've worked with for a long time. She's a local girl. This show, we worked with her on her suit. We've done her posing in the past. It's literally been probably 4 or 5 years that we've been working together. So again, 2 first call outs here for her, 2 top 5 placings. She placed 4th and placed 5th. Is looking phenomenal. I think she's thinking about potentially doing North Americans, but I don't know if she's doing North Americans or not. But again, beautiful look. And congratulations to her as well. And next up we have Beth. So Beth, this is the first time that we've worked with Beth, and it was just her suit for this particular show. So she was one of the ones that got in on our one of our massive sales. So this is one of 2 suits that we did for her here, but I wanted to give her a quick shout out because I thought the suit looked gorgeous on her skin tone. Pat myself on the back right here. So congratulations to you too, Beth. And then last but not least, we have Inez in wellness, who Inez actually won her pro card too. So she won her pro card in 35 and over and 40 and over. So she won her class in both. And we've actually been working with Inez again for years. So she's transitioned from figure. We actually designed her suits and did her posing and stuff like that in figure too. I've helped her with her posing a little bit in wellness, not for a while. It's been a long time, but yeah, so she won her pro card in our suit, which this suit she's had from the very start of wellness, which has been a few years now. And so with that one purchase, she now has a sponsorship with us too for the remainder of her career. So yeah, so she also won her pro card. So yeah, we did pretty good this weekend. We did pretty good. Can't complain. Our ladies all did well. See, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that when I do this stuff, it's not just you purchase a suit and you're done with me. No, like we work on a lot of things with these girls. It's a lot more of a I don't know if intimate is the right word to use, but it's a lot more intense of a relationship versus just a simple transaction. And I like to see these girls succeed throughout the years. And I always tell people, I'm like, once you're a cutie, you're always a cutie. So, you know, you can always come back and work with me. We love seeing the ladies succeed and do well. And like I said, even, you know, Inez is a great example. I think we started working with her. I want to say it was 2016. It might've been 2016 was the first year that we did anything with her. And that was figure. And she's evolved and grown a whole lot since then and gone into a whole new division. And now she's a pro in wellness. So, and we're excited to help her along her journey as well. Now in the pro league. So yeah, exciting weekend for us. So next up for us, as far as shots at pro cards, will be North Americans. So let's see what we do there. All right. So now that we've done our little shout outs for all of our cuties, now it's time to move on to the Chicago Pro. So there was a lot of little sideline like narratives going on and stuff about Chicago, specifically with the bikini division. So we're going to do bikini last. We'll do wellness first. It was a pretty clear shot with wellness as far as who won this show. Now, again, when we went into this talking about previews, the only one that anybody mentioned was Devin mentioned Danny, and we didn't know what she really looked like, but she did win it. So it was from my standpoint, at least, looking at and as Jennifer just said, yes, it's 100% relationship and not transactional. Absolutely, Jennifer, 100%. And what's up, Maya? So going into wellness, let's just kind of go through each one of these ladies. I'm going to give them a few critiques. We'll start with fifth place and move our way up. But Danny, is it Danny? I don't know if it's Danny or Deny. I don't know. I'm going to call her Danny. I don't think that's right, but that's what I'm going to call her. So she pretty much walked away with this show. So let's take a look. So Maria Paulette. So this was fifth place right here. And actually, I think she has a really beautiful look, beautiful face, beautiful look, beautiful overall presentation when we're looking at her posing, looking at her suit, all of that kind of stuff. This is actually a really pretty look. I like it a lot. Yeah, I probably would say just needs to be a touch more conditioned here. And that's about the only thing I would say. That, and I'm not a huge fan of these big, huge shoes down here, these big platforms. This is like 1.5 inches or something. Don't need to do all that. That's a little much for me. Other than that, I like the rest of the presentation, but I would get rid of the shoes, get some lower platforms right there. Let's go to a back shot. Oh, before we get into this, I was going to show you guys a video. Hold on. Back up. I wanted to show you guys a video real quick. I forgot. Let me do that. Masters Nationals. I wanted to show this. Okay. So this was a comparison round for Shauna's class. As you can see, Shauna's right here on the side. Now, you probably are not going to be able to hear this. So let me know if you can actually hear the video. I don't think you're going to be able to. I'm gonna unplug my mic and maybe you'll. Okay, so they're just moving people around right now. Let me know if you can actually hear this or not. Okay, type in the comments. But this is 45 and over, and actually the girl in the center with the black suit ended up winning the overall. As you can see, she looks phenomenal. But I just want to let this play through, so let me know if you can hear it. Can a little bit? Okay, good. That's all you need. Just need to hear it a little bit. That's all.
Face the rear.
Did you hear me yell that?
Face front. Face the rear one more time. Ankle shot up.
Can you hear that? Somebody type in and say if you could hear what was just being yelled.
Great job, ladies.
Okay. Could anybody hear that? Did you guys hear what was going on in the background? So let me explain what was happening. Angle, yes, angle. Yes, exactly. That's what was happening. So let me plug my mic back in. Yep. So this is that, yes, angle in, exactly. So if you saw Shauna on the outside, we were telling her to angle in, and unknowingly, I actually never met her coach, but I sat next to him. I didn't realize I even sat next to him, but as we're sitting there and she's about to come on stage, I realized that he's talking about her, and I'm like, oh, you must be Chris. So yeah, I actually was sitting next to her coach. So if you heard me yelling and then you heard him yelling, we were both yelling at her to angle in. When she went into her front pose, she was angling no problem. When she went into her back pose, she was too straight. She wasn't angling in towards the center. So we were trying to get her to do that. And actually, I asked her afterwards if she could hear us yelling, because I feel like nobody can ever hear me yelling, but I guess she could. She could hear me yelling and she could hear him yelling too. So whenever I'm at a show, guys, I will scream at you if you're doing something that I need you to fix. So I'll be listening for my voice. She actually could hear me, so that was good. I just don't think she processed or registered that she needed to angle in during the back pose. But always make sure that you're angling in towards that center judge, okay? She angled fine on her front pose. It was just the back pose. But like I said, if I'm there, going back to it's much more than transactional, I'm going to yell at you from the audience. So just be prepared. Okay, so I just wanted to show that real quick. Let's move back over to Chicago Pro now. All right, so we're gonna go back to Maria here. We left off on getting to her back pose. So let's get into her back pose real quick. And you can see clearly here. Let's see, Brandy. Heck yeah, I still have memories from you yelling to put my shoulder down. Yeah, your shoulder. I remember that too, Brandy. I remember that too. So I think here we can clearly see she just needs some more leg development. Her glutes are popping, look great. But in comparison to her legs, her knees are kind of buckled in a little bit. I'd like to see her knees go out a touch, and that might help with that quad development there. But when I look at this pose, all I see is glutes. So in my opinion, I think she just needs some more quad development from the back. And it could be as simple as fixing her pose here, because I think from the front, her quads look great. I just think from the back, she needs some tweaks on this pose. But not a bad look at all. I think it was actually a really pretty look that she brought. So moving up to fourth place. And again, these names, I'm sorry, Queen Tasia, maybe. Sorry if I butchered that. Let's take a look at a front pose here. She's not fully posed here, so let me see if I can find a good one where she's posed. Back poses. And we're just turning a lot. So I think we're going to go to a quarter turn here. Let's go to a quarter turn. She's got a quarter turn here. And in general, what I would say with her, she's in shape. Probably could be a little bit more conditioned, but really she just needs more size, specifically in the lower half. I mean, you can see here she's got a pretty good lat flare and everything. Her shoulders aren't too big, but her lat flare is there. She needs more size in her quads. That's specifically what she needs, but not a bad look. Pretty look. Again, really some really pretty looks at this show, which I thought was really good. She just needs some more thickness. She needs some more thickness here. And you can see that from her back pose too. Let's go back to a back pose. And I'm not a fan of this pose either. I noticed that a lot of girls did this in this particular show. She's kind of squatting into it, right? So she's sitting into it a little bit too much. I know she's doing that to try to make her quads pop a little bit more, but it doesn't really help. What it does is actually flattens out the glutes. It does bring the hamstrings a little bit tighter, but it flattens the glutes out. Makes her look a little bit too sharp, too diamond-like, that kind of thing. But again, if she was to put her legs together here, she would look like figure. She wouldn't look like wellness to me. So she just needs some more size on her lower half. Overall, she's going to need to grow a little bit and bust that conditioning a little bit harder too. And I get why she's posing like this, but it doesn't really accomplish what she needs to have it accomplish. So she just needs to grow. And next we have Daniela. Sorry. Again, I butcher names. I could never MC a show because I butcher names, but I do my best. Let's find a front pose here somewhere. None of these are really posed, which that's a problem too, guys. If I can't find a fully posed pose of you, that's a problem. Hit and hold your poses. Hit and hold your poses. Got lots of back poses. Let's see. We got a quarter turn coming up. Let's see if she's got a front pose here anywhere. No. Well, let's look at a quarter turn then. What's up, Holly? Okay, so front pose here. Waistline is a little bit blown out, so she needs to fix that. I don't like the hand sitting on her belly button like that. She needs to pull that back for her pose. What's up, Jessica? So I would say conditioning probably needs to improve a little bit as well. Quads look great here, but I would say the waistline is probably her biggest deterrent in this particular pose. So that's where I would focus the energy. Maybe it's just a matter of pulling it in a little tighter, but I think she needs to be a little bit better conditioned. We're seeing a little bit back here and up in the front. Just pull that waistline in a touch. Let's see what she's got in her back pose. Yeah, she's another one that squatted. This is her with her walk to the back. I don't know why y'all are squatting like this. It does not do you any justice. She's sitting into this pose a lot. And again, I get it. I understand you're trying to get those quads to pop, but it just diminishes the shape overall. She's got great glutes, needs more quads. She's got really long like calves here, so she's going to have to build this up to be able to get it to pop it a little bit more. Looks great from the front with the quad development. From the back, I would say she probably needs a little bit more. And a lot of this could just be the way she's posing. Let's see where she's got one where she's up at the front, maybe. Yeah, let's look at this one. Yeah. I really think if she stood up a little straighter, that would make her quads look a little bit better here. She still needs more though. Still needs more quad sweep from the back to balance out with the glutes. Glutes are fine. I wouldn't change the glutes. I just grow some more quads. All right. So Amy is next. Let's get a good front pose here. This one works. So in general, this is not a bad front pose, but I would still push the glutes back a little bit more. She's kind of sitting forward a touch. See how she's sitting forward a little bit? If she pushed back, They'll make that glute pop up quite a bit more and probably give her more lower body dominance versus just looking kind of straight up and down. So I just like to see this pop back just a little. I like the conditioning. I like the shape. I like she needs probably a little bit more quad here, but I would say also just fix this pose and push it back. That would definitely help with the overall look on this pose. If we look at a quarter turn, so yeah, when you look at the quarter turn, I mean, she just needs some more fullness to the quads. You can see conditioning is good. She does have a little bit of that little lower ab distension, so got to be careful with that. Make sure that's nice and tight. Let's take a look at the back pose. From the back, to me, this looks over conditioned. Glutes are fine, but because she's so dry and so tight through these hamstrings, again, I think it takes away from her quads. And again, she's squatting. See, notice a lot of these girls in this show were really squatting into this back pose, and it just is not the best pose in the world. It just is not. What I look at when I see this is I see glutes. I don't see quads, right? So again, she's one of those ones, if she brought her legs together, she would look like she was in figure. So fix the pose, but add some quad fullness too. And then we have our winner, which was pretty clear. One of the biggest critiques that I have for her is she probably just needs to be darker on her tan. Her face was quite white, but the rest of her body was also pretty light too. I would go darker. Let's see if I can get a good front pose here. I mean, that's a good front pose right there. So you can see, to me, she just clearly dominated the look as far as her overall fullness, her roundness, her overall shape. This is wellness right here. Clear winner. I mean, they put her right in the center and didn't move her when you're looking at comparisons and all of that. So I would say she probably could be a little bit fuller from the back. But see how she's not squatting here? See how she's the only one that didn't squat in her back pose? She's still got a little bit of a bend in the knees, but she's not sitting down into it. So it gives her good balance. I would say that she could probably be a little bit fuller. Like her conditioning is good. She could use a little bit more fullness, more pop in her glutes and into her quad and everything here. But I mean, that could just be a tanning thing too. I feel like her tan is really light. So that doesn't help her so much with the fullness and the pop. So it could just be that, and it could just be a matter of just popping just a little bit more food or something like that. But this is pretty good. This is pretty damn good. I mean, in my opinion, she won this show hands down. So I wouldn't change a whole lot. I would just fix the tan situation and probably try to fill out a little bit more. But I think the conditioning was pretty on. She just needs to be a little bit fuller. But overall, really good look. That's wellness right there. That's your wellness look for sure. I did pull up the comparisons. Let's just take a look at a couple of these so you can take a look at what they all look like next to each other. So again, this is your first call out right here. It's pretty clear that they've got her winning this. We can see the waistline that we talked about here. Again, she looks pretty good right here. I just pushed that glute back a little bit more. She needs some more size like we talked about. Conditioning here on this one. We just need a little bit tighter. Well, let's see if we can get to a back pose of that first call out. And there are the comparisons. There we go. All right, so here's your back pose. So again, going back to what we talked about, I mean, everybody's kind of squatting into their pose except for her, right? We see that really tight conditioning here. We see all glutes and not quite enough quads. Same thing here, all glutes, not quite enough quads. And over here, same thing, all glutes, not quite enough quads. So this is the closest wellness look from the back for sure by like a long shot. So yeah, pretty clear judging right there. Okay, so that was wellness. Let's move over to bikini now. Okay, so there were a few things that people were like, what happened? So first thing that happened was Lizzie Martinez did take second. Initially, she was listed as 16th on the site. That was just an oversight. I know a lot of people talked about that. I even was like, what happened? Because I saw the pictures go up and I saw that she took second. And then you look on NBC News and she was 16th. So I didn't know what happened. Nothing happened. It was just a data entry error. So there's your big mystery. It was just a data entry error. She is in second place. I'm going to talk about Liana Gianna more because she was in 7th. And personally, I don't think she should have been in 7th. I think she should have been higher than that. This was the head scratcher for me, looking at her photos and looking at how everything played out as far as the placings are concerned and things like that. What I will say, and this is a big thing too, because we all talked about Liana going into the show because she was one of those ones that was racing for Olympia points last year. She missed it. She was top 4 at Pittsburgh last year, all this kind of stuff. I feel like she came into this show with a better look than what she had last year. I think she streamlined her physique quite a bit. I do think she still needs to be better conditioned in her lower half in the back. I think that's what hurt her here, but I still don't think she should have been in 7th. I think she should have been higher. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. With that said, once you get outside of the first place spot, it doesn't really matter because there are no points this year. So it is what it is. A 7th place is a 7th place. It's the same thing as getting second. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I definitely thought she should have been placed higher than she was. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but I want to show a few things here. Where's her front pose? I feel like she did a really good job of coming back and kind of streamlining her physique from where she was last year. Last year, I felt like she had quite a bit of a thick waistline. She just had a lot of muscle that just needed to be kind of shaped a little differently. But here, I feel like she did a good job of pulling it in. Now, I do think she needs to be better conditioned. I think that her lower half is a little bit too soft, but I think her waistline came in quite a bit. And I do like, I probably tweaked this pose a little bit, you know, that kind of thing. It just looks a little bit like she's stretched, you know what I mean? But that said, I still think this is a better look, and she's going to be better when she dials in her lower half a little bit better going forward than what she did this past year. So yeah, so in reference to the comment, I'm going to talk about her glutes in a second. So yeah, she just needed to be better conditioned. I mean, she just needed to be better conditioned at the end of the day. But again, I felt like she should have been placed higher. So I'm going to show you guys her back shot here too. That was after the walk back. No, it wasn't. Sorry. Okay, so again, she's just not tight enough from the back. You can see she's just washed out through the hamstrings. But the shape is better. Again, this is a better shape than what she had last year. I don't like her shape on the upper body because of the way she's got her elbows. She needs to pull those elbows in because what it's doing is it's pitching her shoulders forward. Again, I think she might have tried some new stuff with her posing to try to pull her waistline tighter or something along that lines. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like she's trying to stretch up to get the waistline to come in tighter. But what it does is it diminishes that upper body. And what we're seeing here is we're seeing the shoulders roll forward versus seeing, you know, a nice open back here and some delts on the outside. So she just needs to rework this pose on the top half. Probably the same thing with the front pose a little bit, tweak it a little bit, but really, yeah, I'm glad she's not in black. I like the red on her for sure. Not a huge fan of how high up this cut goes. I like how low it is. I like the V in. That looks good. It rounds her glutes out, but the top part of it is a little bit too thick. But again, it's really coming down to here, the conditioning. So if she's a little bit tighter here from the back, I think she would have moved up. I still don't think she would have won the show. I don't think she would have won the show. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But I still think she deserved to be a little bit higher than 7th, just me personally. So I do see the improvements here. And I think if she can just dial in her backside and her lower half in general, fix the posing a little bit, she'll be much better off. So just wanted to give my 2 cents on that. because this is the girl that came in 5th, Kataguska. Not familiar with her at all. The only thing that I can say that she beats Liana on is the conditioning. That's really the only thing I can say she beats her on. There was a lot of things that I just was kind of scratching my head here as to why she took 5th place. I'm just being perfectly honest with you here. The gold suit is a huge no-no. Does not do her any justice. It looks really poorly fits her. It blends in with her skin tone and her hair. It really doesn't do anything for her. This pose doesn't do anything for her. This is just a really bad front pose. I don't know how else to say that, but it's a bad front pose. Hair and makeup is not good either. I just, to me, this didn't make a lot of sense. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know why she was in 5th place. It just didn't make sense to me. Her tan is also really washed out. There's just a lot of things here. Like, I can see where her conditioning is good. I can see where the potential is. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like we're supposed to be judging potential. I feel like we're supposed to be judging what is actually on stage. I would rework everything about this look. Everything. I would redo the hair, redo the earrings. The earrings are too big. The earrings are friggin' huge. All I see when I look at her face is the earrings. I would redo the hair, redo the makeup, redo the tan, redo the suit, redo the posing. I mean, there's just I don't know what else to say. Like, physique wise, I think she's got a better physique than what she's showing because her posing is not good. I don't understand this placing. I just don't understand this placing. I'm just going to be honest. I just don't understand it. I don't know where it came from. and the thing is that I think that her physique is better than what she showed. But going back to, that's not what should be judged. I think what should be judged is what you actually put on stage. So I wouldn't have put her in 5th place personally. Nothing against her, because again, she can fix all these things. These are all presentation things. But it just didn't make sense to me. I'm just going to be completely honest. There's potential here, but I think even her shoes are gold, which I don't think I've ever seen. Like, it's like one big blur of gold and blonde. Like, it's not the current bikini standard. It's just not. So if you're out there listening, get some silver shoes. get your tan fixed, get your posing fixed, get your makeup fixed, get your hair fixed, get your suit fixed, everything. Just redo the whole presentation. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. So we're just gonna leave that at that. We're just gonna leave it at that. Just gonna throw my hands up on that one. Just is what it is. So yeah. Next, we have Ashley. So I actually thought that Ashley Hampton looked really good at this show. This was probably one of the better looks that I've seen her have. Let me see if I can find a full front pose. I mean, from the back, I thought she looked great. I think this is one of the better back poses I've seen from her. I think what still hurts her a little bit is the quads. She's still got that graininess in the quads, right? She's definitely taking her feedback. I can see it. I can see that she's fixing things. Her, like I said, from the back looks much better. All of that, but it's just really hard when you have that thickness and that density in the quads to get rid of that. And I think that's what's hurting her here. Especially when you're standing next to girls that don't have that, it's really obvious that she has it. You know, you can see the little, the vascularity and stuff like that here. You can see all the graininess and hardness. It's just that extra density there. So I do think this is one of the better looks that she's put on stage this year. I just think that this is still probably hurting her a little bit from the front. But again, going and looking at her from the back, this was one of the better back shots I've seen from her this year. She's a little bit washed out through the hamstrings, but I don't even mind that. I think she's fine because she's got that nice high glute pop here. This could be a touch tighter, maybe, but even that, I'm not really mad about it. And when you put her into comparisons, I mean, it's not that bad. So I just think it's the quad. I think it's the quad that's hurting her from the front. But again, I think overall this was a really good look. I think this is one of the better looks she's had. So, so next we have a dare. So again, going back to, well, let's see, I'm going to go to fully posed. This is fully posed. This looks a little bit muddy in her tan here on the shoulder. I like the pose. I think that she's nice and tight and everything. I know some of the critiques she's gotten in the past has been her waistline being a little thick. I don't necessarily think that her waistline is too thick. I just think I like her front pose. When I'm looking at this, I think she's fixed a lot of the issues with her front pose. I just see a little bit of splotchiness with the tan here and maybe a little bit washed out. That can happen when you're doing show after show after show after show. I'd still probably push her back a little bit. I know they undid this because she was pushing too much, but I'd probably push her back just a little bit to try to get that glute to pop up a little bit higher because I think she slopes down here. And I think that might be hurting her from the front. Maybe just a touch of a push in that pelvic bone just to get that glute to pop up a little higher. I know from experience that toe twist is very difficult to hit because I'm doing the same thing on my pose. It hurts. But I think where she kind of drops off on some of these shows more than anything else is from the back. And that's just because she's got the sloped off glutes. Now, again, she's gotten much better as she's gone show to show to show. Her glutes have gotten better. But I do think she's just a little bit washed out here. Probably just from doing show, that kind of thing. Balance, she just needs to get that glute to pop up a little higher on the outer part. That's it. I mean, she's tight enough through the hamstrings, all of that. Again, I'm looking up at the top and it looks a little bit washed out to me. To me, this just looks like her body's a little bit tired, right? She probably just needs to take a break. Not a bad look, but just not her best. And then we have Lizzie, which I believe this was one of her better looks that I've seen from her. Her eyes are closed in that one. Let me see. There we go. She's got her eyes open. So I think that this is actually a really good look for her. I like that she dyed her hair. I think it works really well. I think she's nice and full and round everywhere she needs to be. Her waistline's tight, all of that. She's got that nice pop on her glute. This is a really good look here. I don't think I would change much here. Just relax the arm a little bit. She might be just in a transitional point. They didn't have a ton of pictures for this show, so this just could be her just transitioning into the pose. But overall, I like this whole look. Looks really well balanced, top to bottom, all of that. So from the back, I mean, there's not a whole lot of change here. Other than I would probably try to get a little bit more glute. She's got the higher insertions here on her glutes, which is kind of like what we've got for like Rihanna has the same kind of thing. So if you've got those higher insertions here, your glutes just have to be really round and bubbly, which she's getting there. I just push it a little bit more, just add a little bit more. I feel like she's pinching a little bit in her upper back. So maybe just relax the upper back a little bit so we can get a little bit more delt, because I see delt here, but I don't see it here. It could just be the camera angle, the way it's hitting her. But just open that up just a little bit more. I wouldn't change much about the conditioning. I would just try to fill out the glute roundness 3D projection towards me a little bit more here. That's what I would say for her. Other than that, I wouldn't change anything though. And then we have our winner, which is Savannah. I think this is, and I think she's a relatively new pro. If this isn't her, I think this is like maybe her third pro show, something like that. Is a full pose. Here we go. Got a full pose right here. Her eyes are closed, but at least we got a full pose. So I think she's still kind of transitioning because we don't have the arm fully relaxed. I know she does relax that arm. But again, waistline's nice and tight. We got, again, that nice pop in the glutes right here. Let's see if we got one where her shoulder's relaxed. Yeah, that's better. It's not a full shot, but you can see her shoulder, her shoulder rounds out because she's relaxed her arm. Conditioning looks great. She may be a touch dry through the waistline. A little bit. Probably needs to fill out a little because we're seeing a little bit of striation, lower body conditioning is right on though. So probably needed to do this in order to get the lower body to be where it needed to be. Let's get a back shot. And for me, where she won the show is from the back. Yeah, so this is the best back shot of the show. She could still probably open up again a little bit more. Like I said, like her lower body looks perfect. I wouldn't change anything back here. She's got some fullness, roundness. She's got a little bit of a tanning issue going on right here. So just needs to fix that for the next show. But where she can improve for the Olympia is adding more fullness to her upper body, really. She's got a great shape, but she just needs some more fullness to her shoulders. I would keep the lower body right where it is and just fill out the top. And just work on filling out the top between now and the Olympia. Try to add a little bit more size, a little bit more roundness, a little bit more fullness. But again, overall, she just had the best back shot of the day. So this is where she won the show. So let's take a look at some of these. I don't know which one's first call out here. Maybe this. Yeah, we could show this one, I guess, and kind of flip through. All right, so here's your first call out here as they're moving people around. So as you can see in the back shot, this is Savannah right here. Clearly best back shot. And Lizzie's right behind her, but Lizzie just doesn't have that 3D like we have with Savannah. That's it. That's really it. I mean, their conditioning is right where it needs to be. I mean, they're really pretty comparable. You can see here, this is Adair, how she kind of drops off a little bit on the outsides. Liana, you can see she has the potential. She just needs the conditioning. She needs to pull this in a little bit tighter. This is Ashley over here. Again, looks great. It's got that glute pop, that tightness through the hamstrings, all of that. This is our 5th place girl right here, which again, I get it with the conditioning, but again, I'm sorry. No, that is her. She had straight hair apparently for prejudging, and then she must have curled it for finals or something. I don't know. The hair is different. But that's definitely the gold suit. So whole back pose needs to change though. She's like pigeon toeing out. So we see quad, all of that. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking about that. So from the front again, I really think that Lizzie and Savannah were really very comparable here. I think in general, I think Savannah probably just beat her out from the back, and that was it. So this is your second call out here. This is your, bottom of the top 5 down into, the rest of the top 10 kind of thing. So again, you can see here, again, I would fix this pose. That's probably one of the biggest things, the upper body and everything, but I just still think that she should have placed higher. Again, yeah. So I'm letting you guys just see this stuff. That's your second call out. We'll get to that's the last call out. Oh, this is your top 4 right here. So you can see, again, going back to, I think that these two are really very comparable, And again, looking at Adair, you can kind of see now when she's next to these other girls, she's a little bit washed out. I think that her body's just a little bit tired, probably needs a break. And then we see over here the conditioning, we see the density that we're talking about. So from the back, again, I mean, I could almost argue that Ashley's got the best back shot back here, but she still just needs to bring, I don't know, bring the conditioning on the front down. And Adair looks good, except she needs that outer pop. And Lizzie just needs that fullness and roundness to pop. Savannah's got the fullness and roundness. So you can see it right there. Here's your top 4. And again, going back to when we talk about some placings that are off between, 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever, it is what it is at this point. If you don't win a show, it doesn't matter. So if you're outside the top 5 or outside the top 2 or outside the top 1, it doesn't matter, right? So we can sit here and kind of him and haw over it and not understand why the judges placed him a certain way. But at the end of the day, we weren't there. We weren't sitting in the judging seat. We weren't the ones making those calls. And if she's not winning it doesn't matter anyway. So but I'm still going to say my 2 cents and say I just didn't really understand that placement. It is what it is. So what do you guys think? Anything else that you guys wanted to add? Any questions? Anything like that? And I think at the end of the day, they picked the right person to win. So that's what matters, right? We'll leave it open for a couple of minutes if anybody's got questions. Tomorrow we will preview the shows for this coming weekend. I think there's just a Spain show, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look. Big man. Yeah, just big man. So we'll figure out something to talk about tomorrow night too. Any other questions, guys? If not, that wraps up our show tonight. So it was a really fun weekend. Love going to these national shows and seeing girls, realize their dreams with their pro card wins and everything. So that was awesome. If you would like to work with me, this QR code right here, that'll take you to my free webinar for our suits. We go through everything you need to know in order to create a winning suit right there. And again, if you wear my suit when you win your pro card, you get sponsored. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. Bing, bang, boom. Done. So next thing that we've got coming up the next couple of weeks is Cuties Conquering the Stage. It's coming back, and we have a phenomenal lineup this year. We have some new people that we've never brought in before. We have some amazing new topics that we've never talked about before. You guys have asked for these topics, and we have them. So we got experts. We got experts. And that's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to give it away. Gotta keep the hype. Gotta keep the hype going. And other than that, I will be back again tomorrow night. We'll be back here 8:15, same time, same place, and we'll preview this weekend. And we'll find something else to talk about too if it's just Spain, because I think that's all we got. Maybe we'll go through the Atlanta show pro show pictures because we have those now. So maybe that's what we'll do. With that, I hope you guys all have a fantastic evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow night and suitsandposing.com. That's it. All right. Have a good night, you guys.